Sup, it's Hallie, and welcome to Turnabout Reality. This is a DDLC Phoenix Wright crossover trial thing that's run on their Phoenix Wright online thing website. I don't really get exactly how it works, but I've set up this window as best I can, just, so that you can see everything and still be okay. It's just this window is not very large, and I'm sorry for that. We're just gonna have to deal with it, because that's just the world we live in. Now loaded. Welcome to Turnabout Reality. Note, this case contains implications of abuse and alcohol addictions. Enjoy! That's our only warning. Okay, here we go. I guess this is Monica?
What if I told you that our reality was all meaningless? That our reality was nothing more than an illusion? I realize that I sound like someone from the Matrix right now, but I assure you that I'm being serious. Our reality is an illusion. And I will prove it to you right now. I'm sorry that I have to do this, but if I can get one step closer to contacting them, I can't let this opportunity slide away.
December 3rd, 9:50 a.m., Doki High School mock trial courtroom lobby. Hey, see, here's my profile. That's me. We're Phoenix Wright. We're age 35. He actually is my age, I think. And here's our evidence. We've got our attorney's badge, my personal possession. Yeah, I tried to fit this thing in the window, and it looks like I can go to 2 rows, which is... I would have cut it down to make this larger, but, I'm just working with what I got here. Okay? Well, this wasn't exactly how I envisioned things would go when I received the request. I can't say I've been in a situation like this. On its surface, it seems normal. I've been called to defend someone. But a lot of things are different. It's not a murder trial, for starters. It's an assault trial. The defendant is the victim's father, of all people. We're having the trial at a high school, of all places. And the prosecutor is a bit of an unusual choice from what I've heard.
You must be my lawyer.
Oh, it's him. You must be my lawyer. Well, this guy doesn't look like the easily found innocent guy. I am. My name's Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. Hideki Mozokuyo. Look at that, it just popped right up in there. My client, accused of beating his own daughter to the point of near death. Oh no, he's one of those monster Datsukis. I hope you know what you're doing. I didn't hurt my daughter. And I believe you. I'll prove to the court that you didn't assault her. I honestly still can't believe it. My own daughter in the hospital. I'm just thankful she's still alive. And to think that she, of all people, will be the one trying to prove me guilty. She? Ah, right. You're probably not aware of the situation. From what I've heard, one of the students here is taking the role of the prosecution. As it just so happens, she's also a friend of my daughter. She may be a high schooler, but she's apparently quite the package. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of the average boys' league. And she's the prosecutor here? It looks like it. I'm a little worried. This isn't exactly what I expected. I understand how you feel, but I think I can prove your innocence. I appreciate it, Mr. Wright. Shall we get going? Might as well. With an unfamiliar scenario and an unfamiliar prosecutor, I'm not as sure as I usually am. Still, I have to do my best for Hideaki's sake. Or Hideki's sake. Why did I read Hideaki? December 3rd, 10 a.m., Doki High School mock trial courtroom. Huh. For high school, this actually looks like a real courtroom. I suppose this place is getting its fair share of tuition money.
I hope you're prepared, Mr. Wright.
You're the prosecutor, I take it?
Yes, I am. I'm Monica. Just Monica.
Age 18, gender female. The prosecutor, a friend of the victims, and the one trying to prove her father's guilt. Her father guilty, rather. Very confident about her position. I'm sure she is. Nice to meet you.
expect someone as young as me to be prosecuting.
Not one still in high school. Then again, I faced Clavier and Franziska before when they were around her age.
Well, I just hope that you don't go easy on me. I could use a challenge.
I'll certainly be happy to provide you one, Monica.
I welcome it. Now then, let the record show that this is the start of the hearing for Hideki Mozokuyo. The prosecution is ready.
As is the defense.
Would you like an explanation about how this is going to work, Mr. Wright?
I could do with a reminder about what we're doing for this. I mean, I'm not exactly accustomed to this situation.
Alright, here's the rundown on how this will work. The purpose of this trial is to go over the assault on Natsuki Mozokuyo. Due to this occurring on school grounds, the staff wants to get as much info as possible before arresting a suspect. The staff are watching us on live feed, and they will act as the jury for this trial. They're in a different room, so we don't feel so much pressure during these proceedings. And so we can still abide by the...
I can barely read that text.
Abide by the...
Does it say something after the? I can't honestly see.
Only 3 people talking rule.
Okay, there it is.
The teacher decided that this case follows.
Good God. I see. It's an odd way of doing things, but I suppose I've handled worse. At least my life isn't on the line this time around. Also, was it just me or did she mumble something under her breath?
Anyway, I'd like to begin by going over the incident itself. Earlier this morning at 8:35 a.m., the victim, Natsuki Mozokuyo, was found unconscious outside school.
Natsuki. Jane female. The victim, my client's daughter, currently in the hospital and unconscious. Oh no.
According to the doctors, she suffered several broken ribs, a fractured arm, and a broken leg. Not to mention the fact that she is currently unconscious and hospitalized. Based on evidence and testimonies, the only possible culprit is her father, Hideki Mozokuyo.
I didn't do it.
Please settle down, Mr. Mozokuyo. You're not helping yourself with your outburst. To start things off, I have a copy of the injury report that was given to me by the doctors. Please browse through it to get a better understanding of what happened.
Injury report added to the court record. Let's just take a look at it right now. Yeah, we can check it. There's no check button for the badge, though. Damn. Injury report. Category document. This or the report on the injuries of Natsuki Mozokuyo. Let's check it out. Let's see. Natsuki Mozokuyo, female, age 18. Yes. Estimated time of assault was 8:30 to 8:35 a.m. Okay. Victim suffered 4 broken ribs, several bruises on both arms, and a broken right shoulder. Jeez, this girl took quite a beating. I hope she gets better soon.
In addition, we found a broken glass bottle by the scene of the incident. According to witness testimony, Mr. Mozokuyo was seen holding this very bottle next to the scene. Not to mention the fact that they heard the sound of glass breaking during the incident.
Broken glass bottle. Added to court record. We can't check this one either. Weapon used to assault Natsuki. The suspect was found on the scene holding it. I see. Witness testimony? Will we be hearing from people who saw this happen?
Well, yes and no. While we aren't able to have the witnesses with themselves here, I have their statements on paper here.
What a cop-out. Wait a minute. Isn't that hearsay?
The witnesses themselves wrote the statements inside them. Besides, all the witnesses had class to go to, so it's not like they were able to make it here.
Seems kind of odd that classes are still going on despite something like this happening. I wonder how schools would fare during a pandemic. Har har.
First, I'll give an outline of the cases the evidence suggested happened. Then we'll move on to the witness testimonies.
I wanted to interrogate Zuri. Bam. Basic outline.
At approximately 8:25 this morning, Natsuki arrived at school. She spent a few minutes talking with her friends before moving to enter the school. Before she could, though, her father arrived and started arguing with her. From there, a struggle took place that left Natsuki unconscious and severely injured. Based on the evidence and testimonies, the only possible culprit is Hideki Mozokuyo.
She's certainly not wasting any time establishing Mr. Mozokuyo as the prime suspect.
I assume you'd like to perform a rebuttal, Mr. Wright?
That's right.
I've been looking forward to seeing someone like you in action. And firsthand, too.
Huh? What do you mean?
You're quite a well-known figure in the world of law. It's an honor to be going up against you.
Thanks? I didn't think it was an honor for anyone, really. Now then, I guess I should just go over the testimony and get as much information as possible. Alright, I gotta cross-examine this. This morning, Natsuki arrived at school. Well, let's press them on everything. That's how you play these games, right? Is this a normal time for her to arrive?
Usually, classes start at 8:40, so she gets here early enough.
Fair enough, I suppose. Great. Now I'm jealous that I had to start school as early as 8 a.m. Alright. She spent a few minutes talking with her friends before moving to enter the school. Present! Who were these friends of hers?
Well, me for one. I'm a close friend of Natsuki's.
How well do you know her?
I don't see how that's relevant to the discussion, but if you must know, she's part of my after-school club, the Literature Club.
Right, she mentioned something about that a few times. Literature Club? No offense, but that doesn't sound that appealing to me. Anyone else?
The other 3 members of the Literature Club were also there with her. Additionally, they're the witnesses to this incident.
Oh, great. 3 witnesses that could spell doom for my client. 3 is just not my lucky number, it seems.
Anyway. Before she got though, her father...
Yeah, we get it. Press it. Is it that unusual for her father to just show up?
Considering she walks to school every day, yes.
Maybe it was something important?
That depends on if you'd consider Natsuki's manga important.
Manga?
According to the witnesses, Mr. Mozokuyo was upset at his daughter owning a manga collection.
It's true, I was upset. What? Why would you get so upset over something like that?
If that's not enough for you, her father had this book on him while he confronted her.
Parfait Girls? Why don't you just add Doki Doki to the title and make it even more moe?
It's part of Natsuki's manga collection. It was also found next to her unconscious body. According to the defendant, he found this at his home after Natsuki left.
Manga added to court record. A manga titled Parfait Girls belongs to the victim. Apparently what started the conflict between Natsuki and her father. Looks weird. I'm trying to see what the image on there is. I can't quite tell what that picture is. It's very small. This isn't exactly helping my case or Mr. Mozokuyo's reputation. Alright, from there a struggle took place and she was injured severely. A struggle? Can you describe what you mean?
Well, it wasn't so much a struggle as it was an assault. Natsuki doesn't have much of an athletic build. It would be hard for her to fight back against anyone bigger than her, let alone a grown adult man.
So in other words, she couldn't fight back if she tried.
She wouldn't be able to make more than a few scratches and a bruise or two at her attacker. So she could try, but that's about it.
Haha, based on her photo, I can certainly see that. Based on the evidence, the only possible person is him. That's a bold assumption to make based on the situation. Perhaps my client was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, that's not the only reason we suspect him.
What?
You see, Mr. Mozokuyo has been the subject of certain accusations as of late. Especially towards his daughter.
I don't like where this is going.
Several teachers and students have reported Natsuki with bruises and scratches across her arms. None of which could have possibly been caused in school.
Danger, danger! Hopes of making her client look good sinking!
Do you see why we suspect him now? I'll take that as a yes. Let's move on, shall we? I believe that we have a sufficient understanding of how the crime went down right now. Unless the defense has anything to add, I'd like to move on.
There wasn't exactly a lot to go over in that testimony. I think I got everything I need. And some things I definitely didn't need to. The defense has no objections. But I want to present some stuff.
Excellent. To move on, I'd like to address the testimonies of the witnesses. The witnesses were able to provide testimony on the incident. Sayori, Yuri, and MC.
MC? That's an unusual name.
I know what you're thinking, and I agree it's a weird name.
Wait, how did she...
But that's not important right now. Their testimonies are of importance for the time being. I will begin by giving Sayori's testimony.
I don't know if there's any consequence for studying the wrong evidence against things in this particular module. Whatever, we'll try it sometime. Sayori's account.
Ahem. In the words of Sayori, I was walking to school that morning with MC as usual. We arrived at around 8:35. Upon arriving at the schoolyard, we saw Natsuki laying face down on the ground. Natsuki's scary father was standing over her holding a glass bottle. We immediately knew something was up, so we ran towards him and restrained him. MC kept him restrained while he went to get a staff member. After getting back to the scene, the staff took in Natsuki's dad for questioning. That's all that happened.
What was that supposed to mean?
Oh, that's just what Sayori yells whenever she's flustered, embarrassed, or nervous.
Was it necessary to include that at the end?
She insisted upon it, said it would be a more authentic testimony.
Sayori certainly sounds like a character. I've certainly dealt with those kinds of characters in the past, though. Anyway, looking over this testimony, there isn't anything inherently wrong with it. I don't know what information I'll gain by pressing, but I have to try. Darn tootin'! Sayori's account. Walking, blah blah blah. So what does happen if we present false evidence at this time? Let's just try. Here's the badge. Present the badge! Objection. I have a major problem with this testimony.
I have a major problem with your problem.
I have a major problem with your problem with my problem with this testimony.
I won't continue to sit here on a train of thought and just give you a penalty.
Okay, so penalties do exist. I have a major problem with her having the ability to hand out penalties. Oh, but how are we going to get all the flavorful text then? Alright, well, let's just press for... Well, hold on. Did we miss... Yeah, it advanced the statement. Whoa. So I'm to school that morning with MC as usual. Press it. As usual? What do you mean?
Sayori and MC are childhood friends and neighbors. They've walked to school together a lot over the past few weeks.
So they arrived at school at around the same time?
Yeah, both MC and Sayori vouch for this fact.
Nothing there to go after yet. You arrived at 8:35. 8:35? That's pretty late considering classes start at 8:40.
Well, Sayori doesn't usually get up early. If anything, I'm surprised she was still on time.
That can't be good for Sayori if she's almost always late for class.
It's not my business to interfere with their personal lives.
I wonder why she's like that. I hope it isn't anything serious. Upon arriving at school... How did it highlight the button without pressing the button? Face down on the ground. No. I've been meaning to ask something about that. Oh, I'm off the button now. Was there nobody else at the scene? I don't think a schoolyard would be that barren. Surely someone else would have noticed Natsuki just laying there.
Actually, I can answer that. At 8:30, the bell rings to remind people to get going to their first class. There wouldn't be many students around to see the scene anyway.
And what was Mr. Mozokuya doing during this time?
Based on the testimonies, he was just standing there.
Just standing there? If he was the culprit, wouldn't he try and escape?
She's still his daughter. Perhaps he didn't want her to be that badly hurt.
That doesn't make any sense, though. Why would he go from assaulting his daughter to suddenly caring about her?
You give far too little credit to the culprit. Take things from their point of view. You've assaulted your own daughter in a place where nobody was around. On On the off chance that witnesses showed up, perhaps you could appear as if you were innocent. Especially if you identify yourself as the victim's father. Unfortunately for you, the witnesses that show up know about your relationship with her. Do you see where I'm going with this?
So you're saying that my client pretended to act innocent in order to avoid suspicion?
That, or perhaps he panicked. He was trying to process what he had just done. It's an understandable human reaction, after all.
I can't argue against that. For now.